strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Bulldog, and it's time to do a season recap of my rental account. I recently started a new account that is doing 100% rentals, not owning any cards whatsoever. And I was challenged actually by the community to see if I could play on this and be profitable. And I knew I could, but I wanted to see how high of a level could I be profitable. So this actually started with a few days left in the previous season. And I very quickly, in about 2 days, did a quick rental, jumped up to gold just so I could be earning gold chests, climbed through bronze, through silver fairly easily, did one previous video on that. So for this season, my first full season, I was starting in silver 3, earning gold season rewards. And once again, going through silver and gold, I took the strategy of renting. So you have to rent for a minimum of 2 days, right? So I'd rent for 2 days, use as much ECR as I could without going below 50%, use up as much as I could, play all those battles, then take a couple of days to reset, recover my ECR, and go rent more cards at a higher league for wherever I've climbed, essentially. And that was how I built through this season. So I climbed in silver 3, took 1 day to get up to gold, and then really got to play in gold for the first time. Let's go in and let's kind of look at some of these battles here. So in the background, you guys have something a little more interesting as I talk about this. And I wish I had data to show you all, but I was actually planning on using Splex to track everything. They track value, like your value of your season rewards, the amount of your rentals that you spent. So I was just going to go in there and look at that, and I thought this would be very easy. But they stopped kind of updating that, and it's not showing me those numbers anymore. So I don't have exact accurate numbers to actually go through. But here's what I found. Renting through gold. Started out renting in gold 3, spent about 1,000 DEC on rentals per day. So about 2,000 DEC for 2-day rentals. Went out and had a lot of success, even playing early in the season. This was basically about 3 days into the season or so. Had a lot of success playing with there in terms of earning my rentals back. Now, if you factor in the SPS rewards and the battle rewards, I got about 3 times my earnings back. I more than paid for my rentals in just SPS battle rewards without even need to worry about RNG from chests. And then if you looked at expected value from those chests, got about 3 times my return. So things were very good there. I didn't climb very far though. I only went up to the gold 2. So for day the second set of rentals, this is my 3rd set of rentals on the season, I got much more aggressive, and this is I think this is more what you're seeing right here. I picked up about 2,500 DEC worth of rentals. We're getting towards the middle of the season here, and my goal is to try to get into diamond and push even higher. And renting that much more, I was not as profitable as renting cheap and playing in gold 3 and barely up into gold 2. But I was able to make my earnings back just in SPS battles without having to worry about the chests. Got a few more chests, but the earnings weren't too much more than they were playing in gold 3. But I was able to climb a lot more. Actually got up into diamond temporarily, and then eventually kind of fell out as I climbed got a little aggressive and tried to play some in diamond with my gold battles. It didn't work too well. But what I learned was that, yes, playing in gold was actually fairly... I didn't have any problems. For trying this for the very first time, not really knowing what I needed to rent in gold and what the exact competition was going to be like at this part of the season, I was able to successfully rent in gold and turn a profit. And yes, I've been playing the game for a year and a half about now, but overall I didn't really have too many problems. This challenge was not too much of a struggle, even though I'm not used to playing in gold. I'm more used to bronze and silver, where I'm constantly helping new players as part of my job. I'm used to diamond, Diamond and Champions, where I play on my main account. So gold's kind of a forgotten league for me, if we're being honest here. But so it's not like I'm an expert gold player. Yes, I'm a good player just because I'm experienced with the game and that type of thing. But I didn't really have any problems turning a profit. I didn't really need to optimize it a whole lot. Renting for gold was fairly easy. Then we got on to diamond, and diamond was an entirely new challenge. A completely new challenge, because what I found out is that there's just no liquidity up there for cards. Like, I wanted to go rent the cards and they just weren't there. A lot of times they literally were there and were not there. I could not rent them. Other times the price was just very, very high. And that made things really tough. And so what I learned is that that same strategy doesn't work near as well for going out and renting 2 days worth, playing 100% ECR, ending up down at 50%, then letting those rentals expire, taking 2 days off, and trying to recover. Because by renting all the cards at once, I actually tried to do that, even though I knew it wasn't going to work very well. I tried to do that just because I wanted to. We had a stream coming up, and I wanted to be able to stream. I wanted to get some more data on what I needed to actually play here, and it was just really tough to go spend those cards. I realized you need to go set bids, whether it's using Peak Monsters, Splinter Mate, whatever the case is. Go set some sort of bids and allow those to be picked up over time. And I was able to, once I started setting bids, I was getting bids coming in that were significantly cheaper. And I was able to get a lot more value for my DEC. But those are not things that you just get the bids instantly. They come in over a day, over 2 days, over 3 days. And you're just kind of constantly picking some up and then sometimes filling in the gaps with what you weren't able to pick up via bids and maybe paying more for those cards. But overall, you're getting a lot better deal. And so I had to take a completely different strategy in Diamond. But once I kind of got things, once I kind of got comfortable with things, I was actually surprised. I was surprised how little you actually need to get to champion. I came one battle away from champion. I was so upset on the final day. I was grinding, trying to get to champion. My ECR was close to 50%. I came one battle away. In that battle, I had a 64% chance, according to Splinter Tools, which isn't always completely accurate, but generally it is. 64% chance to win that battle, and I lost. I'm still bitter over that battle. I want it back. I want to run that one back. Ended up falling down. Didn't quite get the champion, but I did finish very high in Diamond 1. Climbed very well. And on my final 2 days, I was spending less than 6,000 DEC per day in order to rent into Diamond. I feel very comfortable that if I had been up there more throughout the season, I don't feel like I didn't get into champion because I didn't have the cards. I feel like I just ran out of ECR playing battles. Remember, I started down at Silver 3 and had to grind my way all the way up to Diamond 1 to Champ 3. I think next season, starting in Gold 1 instead of starting in Silver 3, I will have enough battles, plus just being more experienced with what I need to rent, what my budget should be to rent. I feel like I can actually climb up and potentially get into champion. So we're going to see if I can do that this season. But I know the big question is, okay, well, you're telling us how you did. What did you actually go rent? And then, okay, you got the champion. Are you actually profitable? Is paying 6,000 DEC per day to play in Diamond, maybe even champion, is that actually profitable? So we're going to look at this here. The big thing with what I rented is I rented all of the Chaos Legion cards that I felt like important. I think there were a few that I don't really use. Do we have one more battle here? I think we've got one more battle as we kind of showcase. You guys can see in the background some of the cards that I've been using. Grandmaster Wraith was a big... Grandmaster Wraith and Yasik were definitely big ones. Overall, though, I think throughout these battles, you didn't see many Untamed cards. I picked up a few Untamed cards that I really felt like were necessary. A few Rift Watcher cards that I felt like really made a difference. Shield Bearer right here was a big one. I got him at level 5 where he's got his shield. He was expensive. I think a few times I paid like 400 or 500 DEC, even at level 5 towards the end of the season, and I felt like I needed him. This Grandmaster Wraith team was huge. Grandmaster Wraith, I was big throughout the life teams. Using Grandmaster Wraith was huge. Jared Scar was one of my go-to cards that I use quite a bit of. Anybody who's watched my stream knows how much I love Jared Scar. I've kind of fallen in love with him. But in general, I mostly got Chaos. It was go out and get almost all the Chaos cards, at least all the ones I wanted to use, then pick up a few Untamed ones that I could find good deals on or that I felt like were very key cards here. The Lone Boatman level 5 with the repair in the back was one I felt like was important, but it wasn't too expensive. So I did get some. I got some Rift Watcher cards, but some of that was just what I found a good deal on. And what I will do is I will actually link down there the final days that I played. I realized that I can go to Peak Monsters and actually print off an Excel spreadsheet of everything that I had in my collection. So I'll post that down below if you guys want to see all of the exact cards. But it's not like I felt like, okay, I needed these cards. Some of those are just, if it's why did you get this card? Why did you not get that card? Some of it's just what the market had and what I could find a good deal on, or what I couldn't find a good deal on. But overall, I was really surprised that there was a whole guild of bots up at the edge of Diamond 1 Champion 3 that I was competing with that had 0 Untamed cards. They were supplied with all of the maxed out Rift Watchers and Chaos Legion, and they were able to, some of those accounts were able to get into Champion. I don't know if they finished in Champion. They were kind of, some of them were on the edge. We were all on the edge battling there, and some of us were able to get in, some not. But really, you don't need Untamed. That's kind of the point I'm making. You don't really need a bunch of Untamed. I didn't need Kitty. I didn't need Jotun. I didn't use any of the dice summoners. My 2 summoners that I used a lot of, that I had never used before. I should say never used before, but were never used a lot of. Aquatus, because he was cheap. I like Kelia better than Aquatus, but Aquatus was a third of the price. And Waka. Waka in Diamond was like an MVP card for me. Nobody likes Waka, so Waka was pretty cheap. But Waka worked almost as well as Thaddeus. In fact, I won a few battles specifically because of that poison. And I felt like with the value, those were actually really good cards. So, but then a lot of you want to know, okay, was it actually profitable? And this is, so Splex, this is the website with Splex here. And this is what I was planning on tracking. They track the season summary and the values and everything. So if we come down here to the rewards for the season, it's supposed to track the rental expenses, but I definitely spent a lot more than $2.37 on rentals. That like stopped halfway through the season, and I earned more than $22 here as well. If you look at the total battle SPS earns, didn't mean to copy that. It shows what that's 281. My quick math is correct. 281 SPS earned. If we come over to my account here. Remember, this is basically the only season I've ever played in it. We didn't earn much. How much we earned? A total like 6 SPS the season before. I've got 400 SPS. I definitely earned a lot more than that. So it's not tracking my earnings all that well. $22 earned in SPS. It also had this $10 here from that was a daily chest focus. That would be on last season. So yeah, about 400 SPS. And we got a couple packs as well. So if we come over here, it tracked, I actually think I may have sent some of the packs out, but it showed we got at least 2 packs here. We got, what, maybe $5 in other rewards outside of that. So maybe $27, $28 worth of rewards. I'm not sure what else didn't get tracked there. So I was kind of counting on Splex, and that's why I didn't have everything necessarily tracked. But we could kind of, this was still good data for me to look at. And okay, so if I'm earning $28 or so in the season, and I know that I can reach champion, or I feel that I can reach champion, at least compete at high diamond, spending 6,000 DEC per day. I think it was 5.8K. And remember, that was at the end of the season when everything's a lot more expensive. But if we assume that we got a 15 day season, 6K DEC per day. I mean, we're looking at, we're not looking at all that much. 90K DEC to go compete for a season. I think if you do the math throughout a whole year, spending about that'd be about $1,500 a year to go compete. And let's forget the earnings for a second right here, okay? Let's forget the earnings, which I know, so, forget the earnings. Oh my goodness. Everybody says this game is too expensive to play. I shouldn't say everybody, but that's a common complaint. The game is too expensive, okay? If we look at Web 2 games that are this style, where it's kind of a free-to-play style or a gacha style, like again, I came from Galaxy of Heroes, and it was kind of a similar way where yeah, you could play for free, you could play for cheap. Then you can buy a lot of cards. You can buy progression throughout the game. It's kind of that gacha style system. Even if we look at some of the other card games and that type of thing, how many games out there can you spend $1,500 for the year, start a new account, spend $1,500, and actually go compete at or very near the top of the game? Very near the top of the game. Like, that's really not all that expensive. I come from Galaxy of Heroes. $1,500 wouldn't get you very far. If you're starting a new account, like if you start a new account and wanted to buy your way to the top, I mean, you're looking at $10,000, $20,000. I mean, it is extremely expensive to try to get up there and buy your way through that progression. And that game is probably more expensive than a lot of them, but it's very, very expensive. And yes, you don't own your cards, but that's just like a Web 2 game, right? Even if you're renting here, you don't earn. That's kind of like a Web 2. That's not all that expensive to say, okay, I'm going to spend $1,500 to go compete at the highest level in a card game here. It's just really, it's really not. And then you factor all that you're getting back in the earnings, and that you're not taking a risk with NFT value going down. Now you don't get the upside if the NFT value goes up, but you're not necessarily taking a risk there in it going down. But overall, if you look at my earnings, I would say we didn't quite, as far as enough to get 6,000 DEC. I didn't quite make that back, but I also was only earning gold chests. Like, if we come up here, we can see our season rewards here. This was only gold chest. Diamond chest, we can actually, let's pull up the spreadsheet after this goes through. Next season, I'll be starting at a higher spot so I can get more rewards that way. Because again, I'm not comparing I'm not comparing what I earned here to what I actually spent. Comparing it to if I was spending, like, once we kind of found that level, 6,000 DEC to go compete up there. And again, this is end of season, so it's probably cheaper beginning of the season. I was earning silver. I was earning gold rewards at the start. Now that I can start earning gold rewards, hopefully earn diamond rewards pretty soon, I can earn better end of season chests. Hopefully if this season I can hit champion, and then next season I can be earning champion season rewards, that would make a huge difference. And I feel like after doing this, I can finish the season in champion using all rentals and actually turn a profit. I strongly feel that way. We're gonna see next season if I can actually do that. But if we go through, let's go back to Splex here. You can go to these reward, let's go to tools, chest EV by league. Okay, so let's take out those potions. So I got, we'll have to go back. How many chests did I get? Was it 70 something? So remember, these gold chests over here, estimated value is about, if we look at median value, usually your value is in between. So average, a lot of people don't hit the average unless they're hitting a jackpot chest, which over time, eventually you'll get at least somewhat jackpot chests. But if we look at the median value, diamond chests are worth 4 times as much. 4 times as much. Champion chests are worth 5 times more than diamond. So champion chests are worth 20 times. So let's keep that number in mind. 4 times for diamond chests, 20 times for champion chests. Okay, and let's go back and let's first look at how many chests I had for an end of season. Of course, as I'm recording, it's going to load slow. I got, let's see, where is end of season? Right here. I got 78 chests. So let's go over here. This is a chart that actually compares. So 78 gold chests is about 4.4 million reward points. So let's look at diamond. How much does 4.4 million reward points get us? 58 chests. And remember, those chests are worth 4 times as much. Okay? That's kind of a big difference, right? That's a lot of extra earnings that I could have if I did everything the exact same way. Now, again, remember, I'm starting at gold and diamond, gold 1 instead of silver 3. So I'm going to be earning more points to begin with. But even if I earn the exact same points, did everything the exact same way, there would be a huge bump in earnings just because I was earning diamond chest. And then if we go to champion chest, if I'm able to hit champ on the season, so that would be 37. And remember, those are worth 20 times as much as the gold chest that I pulled. So that's earning about half of the chest, but they're worth about 20 times as much. So that's 10 times my earnings. Potentially 10 times my earnings, which were, again, there was only $4 there. But so we go from $4 to $40. And again, we're looking at estimated. I did get a little over. I didn't get average, but I did get above median. But still, I mean, even you're talking about $30, $40 in rewards there. That's a big difference that can contribute to those earnings. So still kind of collecting a lot of data here. We'll kind of see how things go. But overall, I'm left very optimistic that I can go rent and play in champion. I'll probably be playing most of the season in diamond and hitting champion at the end. And who knows, maybe if I prove that I can do this, we need to get more aggressive and try to rent for the leaderboard or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But after doing this, I feel like renting in silver to be profitable is very easy. I don't think you even have to be a great player. I think even if you're just an average Splinterlands player, you can rent for a profit in silver. I think you can rent for a profit in gold if you're even just an average Splinterlands player. And I think gold is probably the sweet spot. I feel like I made the most in gold, and I would say for most players, that's where you should probably be renting. I know a lot of people don't like to rent. They like to play with the cards of their own. And if that's the case, if you like playing where you're at, if you like competing on the bronze leaderboards, whatever the case is, that's fine. Do whatever you want. Do however you like to play. I don't want to be telling anybody how to play, but I feel like almost everybody, once you get to becoming an average player, once you've learned the game and understand the game mechanics. Yes, I certainly had the advantage that I've been playing the game for a year and a half, so I could go out, and even though I'm not used to playing in gold, I can still use for my knowledge from other leagues to go play this. I'm not saying a new player can sign up day one and go rent to gold and make a profit. I do think you need to learn the game, you need to know how to play. But once you've got a decent grasp on the game, I think even if you're an average player, you can rent in gold and be profitable. I feel like there's no reason not to rent for gold. And if you're sitting on bronze, silver cards, rent out those cards and then rent in gold cards. And then as you make those profit, you can upgrade your other cards and then start funneling them into your own collection or whatever you need to play with. If I was starting on a budget, that's exactly what I would do. But yeah, I feel like everybody should really push up to silver or gold, at least based on market conditions now. Now things are going to change, right? Again, this is all based on market conditions now. If everybody tries to rent out for gold and starts to rent out their silver, then the price to rent in silver will go down. The price for the gold cards will go up. But we do have a lot of cards that we can combine to meet that demand if we need it. But I don't know, maybe making this video will motivate a lot of people to go rent and play in gold and rent and play in diamond. And now suddenly it gets a lot more expensive, and now it's much more difficult. That's certainly the case. So all of this is all dependent on market factors and how things change. But based on what we see right now, I feel like gold is probably the most profitable place to go rent and play. And then if you want to get aggressive, or if you feel like you're a very good player, you can go run up in diamond and play at the highest level of the game. And we see comments all the time. I can't play in diamond. Like, the game is awesome in diamond, but I can't play there because I'm not a whale. I don't think you need to be a whale in order to actually go rent up and play in diamond. I think you can do so and still turn a profit if you are a quality player. And when I say quality player, I don't mean a leaderboard player. I don't mean an elite player, but you do have to be fairly good, fairly skilled to actually go rent those cards to go play in diamond. And honestly, not gonna lie, managing the rentals is kind of a chore in and of itself. So setting all those bids, monitoring what you have, constantly going in and renting more cards. There was so many times, even playing on stream, I was looking and it's like, oh, okay, I've got this. I'm wanting to play this card. Oh, I don't have it. Several times I was even renting it for that battle. Like, oh, I want it for this battle. And that could be a strategy to use all the time too. Don't rent a card until you want to use it in a battle. Then be like, okay, I want this lineup. Go to Peak Monsters, rent that card, rent those cards, refresh the screen, play that lineup. I did that multiple times. I didn't do that as my primary strategy, but there were times where, or even I decided I don't think I'm going to play that card too much until this battle came up and I wanted it for this specific battle, and then I went in and rented it. So yeah, there is a lot of work there, even managing those rentals, and I don't want to dismiss that. And a lot of people don't like that, and that's understandable. Again, play the game where you want to play it. But my big takeaway is that I feel like if you want to play in diamonds, if you want to be super competitive and play in these higher leagues, it does not take a lot of funds. Having six, and again, so if we're spending 6,000 DEC, yes, your SPS rewards are staked too. So it's not just that you need 6,000 DEC, right? If that's what your budget is going to be, that's kind of where mine ended up for now. We'll see how I refine that and everything. But you probably need 2 to 3 weeks worth of rental fees to get started. So yeah, maybe you need 60,000, 75,000 DEC, and then as you're getting those rewards, you can unstake them and sell them, or you can sell the cards or whatever the case is to fund more rentals and that type of thing. So you do need a little bit to get started. And there will be some people out there who say, okay, I need to start with $50. I can't do that. I can't spend the $50, and I absolutely understand that. So it's still not that wouldn't be considered cheap for some people. But when you look at things overall and the fact that you can go compete in the highest level, if you start with funds for $50, I feel like that's relatively cheap, and I think that would surprise a lot of people that you can actually go do that. So hopefully hopefully this kind of raises maybe some awareness on how powerful the rental system is. And I hope you guys come stop by, because I'm going to keep playing this. I am going to continue to keep playing this account on stream. So you guys, if you want to come watch me, see which cards I'm using, what cards I have rented for the day, which one, because again, it's going to change all the time, right? That's a little different from playing my own account where I have almost all the cards in Modern. Not everything, but I've probably got 80% of the cards, maybe even over that in Modern. I'm missing maybe half a dice, missing a decent amount of Untamed. I have max Chaos, max Rift Watchers though, so I don't know, maybe it's 85, 90%. I have a lot of the cards. Over on this account, they're going to be rotating in and out based on what deals I find for Untamed, for Rift Watchers, those types of things. So absolutely come by Twitch where I do my live streams, and you can check out some of these battles. If you want to come play at higher leagues like Gold or Diamond, you can see what I'm renting, maybe pick up some tips there. So anyways, let me know, what do you guys think? Who has experience renting? Have you been able to, do you want to share your own? If you want to share, here, we'll show this real quick. Go to Peak Monsters, come up to your cards, click on, like if you want to, you can click on the ones you rented if you want, or this will just show everything here. There's this button right here, export cards to CSV. Click on that. That will download a file. You can upload it to like a Google Drive or something and make that public. You can link it down below, and you can share with other people, or you can write posts on Peaked about it and share those here, whatever you want to do. And share with people, okay, this is my rental, I rent in silver, or I rent in gold, and this is my budget, and these are the cards I rent. If you want to share those with people, I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate that. So absolutely come show us what you've got, and I can't wait to continue on this experiment and see if I can get the champion. I want to hit champion on a rental account this season. I'm going to do it. Make sure you're not missing the Twitch streams. I'll see you there.